and the justice of the peace would receive $2 for sentences, that kind of thing.
That's sort of a bounty.
He said he fired to get us to stop. He didn't mean to hit me. And it wasn't much because the bullet just fell right out after a little while. I mean, nobody had to pull it out. It stopped here, and it was...
Charles Bronson, the legendary tough guy of Hollywood, was known for his stoic intensity on screen. But behind the scenes, the man had opinions, strong, unfiltered opinions. While fans admired his iconic roles in films like Death Wish and The Great Escape, few knew that Bronson didn't mince words when it came to his peers. Over the decades, he worked with countless actors, directors, and crew members, but there were a select few who, for reasons personal or professional, earned his enduring dislike. Unlike many stars who kept grudges private, Bronson's disdain was often subtle but unmistakable. Whether it was clashing personalities on set, creative differences, or simply a lack of professionalism, he didn't hesitate to express his true feelings, quietly but firmly. And while he was a man of few words, those who rubbed him the wrong way quickly learned that his silence could be more powerful than any argument. From seasoned veterans to rising stars, the list of actors Bronson despised reveals the intensity of his standards, his principles, and his uncompromising approach to his craft. Some were actors he found insincere or pretentious. Others simply didn't meet his high expectations, and a few had personal conflicts with him that turned into long-lasting resentment. Today, we take a closer look at the top 7 actors Charles Bronson hated the most, the rivals, the tensions, and the stories that give fans a glimpse into the man behind the tough exterior. These are the actors who tested Bronson's patience, provoked his ire, and in some cases, earned his lasting contempt. Charles Bronson's legendary reputation as Hollywood's toughest man extended far beyond his on-screen persona. Known for his silent intensity and unwavering professionalism, Bronson expected the same from everyone around him. That's why actor number 7 on our list earned his disdain so quickly. Their first encounter on set was a disaster from the start, a collision of temperaments and working styles that neither would forget. Bronson valued focus and dedication. He believed in entering a scene with complete commitment, leaving ego and distraction at the door. But actor number 7, a well-known star at the time, had a reputation for being difficult, often prioritizing charisma and improvisation over the demands of the script. On their first project together, a high-profile action film, tensions immediately flared. The actor frequently improvised lines and ignored the director's instructions, creating friction with the crew and slowing down production. Bronson, ever the professional, initially tried to remain patient. He hoped the other actor would respect the process and align with the vision of the film. But repeated incidents tested his patience. Reports from the set indicate that Bronson began avoiding scenes with actor number 7 whenever possible, a rare move for someone who typically confronted issues head-on. "You don't mess with my work," Bronson allegedly told a crew member, reflecting the silent intensity he was famous for. The clashes weren't just professional. They had a personal dimension as well. Bronson, a man of few words but strong principles, found the other actor's arrogance grating. He was irritated by the constant self-promotion, the need for attention, and the dismissive attitude toward fellow cast members. To Bronson, it wasn't just disrespect toward him. It was a violation of the collaborative spirit essential to filmmaking. Colleagues reported several heated exchanges that went beyond the usual on-set disagreements. Bronson's piercing glare and quiet, cutting comments were enough to send the other actor retreating, but the tension lingered long after the cameras stopped rolling. Friends of Bronson noted that he rarely held grudges lightly, and this particular clash left a lasting impression. He remembered every slight, every improvised line that undermined the scene, and every moment of arrogance displayed. Interestingly, the audience never saw the conflict. The film went on to become moderately successful, but behind the scenes, Bronson's disdain for actor number 7 was unmistakable. Even years later, in interviews, he hinted at frustrations without naming names, a subtle way to express disapproval while maintaining professionalism. It's a testament to his character, silent, principled, and exacting. This experience set the tone for Bronson's approach to working with others for the rest of his career. He became more selective about the projects he took on and the actors he allowed into his professional circle. The memory of clashes with actor number 7 reinforced his desire for disciplined, respectful collaboration, a principle he held on to until his passing. Actor number 7 may have been talented, charming, or even charismatic in the eyes of the public, but for Bronson, none of that outweighed the lack of professionalism and the constant challenges on set. In Bronson's mind, talent meant little without respect, focus, and integrity. Thus, the stage was set for the rest of the list. As we move higher in Bronson's rankings of actors he hated, the stories become more intense, the conflicts more personal, and the grudges even harder to forgive. Actor number 7 represents the beginning of a pattern that reveals the uncompromising, exacting standards of one of Hollywood's most legendary tough guys. Moving up the list, actor number 6 was a rising star whose confidence quickly clashed with Charles Bronson's legendary presence. Unlike actor number 7, who simply irritated Bronson with unprofessional behavior, number 6 challenged him directly, not only on set, but in front of the crew and even the director. For someone like Bronson, whose reputation was built on quiet authority and unwavering focus, this was unacceptable. The two first worked together on a major action film in the late 1970s. Actor number 6 was ambitious, outspoken, and used to getting his way. He frequently attempted to redirect scenes, suggesting camera angles or line deliveries that went against both the director's vision and Bronson's instincts. What may have seemed like constructive input to some quickly became a source of irritation. Bronson, who believed in respecting the craft and the collaborative process, found this behavior presumptuous and disrespectful. Colleagues describe a specific incident that epitomized the tension. During a crucial scene, actor number 6 decided to alter his lines mid-shoot, arguing that it would make the scene more dramatic. Bronson, who had meticulously studied the script and the scene's rhythm, immediately confronted him. A heated exchange followed, with Bronson speaking in measured, cutting tones that left the younger actor stunned. "You don't improvise over me," Bronson reportedly said. "Not now, not ever." What made the situation worse for Bronson was the public nature of the confrontation. Actor number 6 had a reputation for charisma and charm, often charming journalists and fans with his quick wit. But Bronson's no-nonsense attitude could not be swayed by charm. The tension on set grew, creating an atmosphere of unease that the crew could feel. Those who worked closely with Bronson said he rarely lost patience, but when he did, it was memorable and intimidating. The resentment Bronson felt toward actor number 6 wasn't limited to the professional realm. He reportedly disliked the younger actor's personality off-set as well, the constant self-promotion, the eagerness to claim credit, and the tendency to exaggerate accomplishments. To Bronson, this wasn't just annoying. It was a direct affront to the integrity and dedication he held sacred. Despite the animosity, the film was completed, and both actors delivered performances that audiences praised. Yet Bronson never forgave the attitude or the public challenges. Over time, he made a conscious decision to avoid projects where actor number 6 might appear. Even decades later, he spoke of the younger actor in interviews with a subtle edge, praising his talent while making it clear that he had no respect for his approach or demeanor. Actor number 6 illustrates another facet of Bronson's personality, his intolerance for arrogance and disregard for professional respect. Bronson's hatred wasn't about personal vendettas in a superficial sense. It was about preserving the principles he lived by. He demanded excellence, respect, and dedication, and anyone who openly defied that standard risked his silent, enduring contempt. By understanding actor number 6's place on this list, we begin to see a pattern emerge. Bronson's dislike wasn't arbitrary. It was rooted in his personal code of conduct. He respected talent, yes, but only when it was paired with humility, focus, and professionalism. Without those qualities, even the most promising actor could quickly find themselves on the wrong side of Charles Bronson. As we continue the countdown, the next actors on the list push these boundaries even further, challenging not only Bronson's patience but also his deeply held sense of justice and loyalty. Actor number 6 serves as a reminder that Bronson's hatred was never casual. It was deliberate, principled, and enduring. Actor number 5 on Charles Bronson's list of most hated co-stars was a seasoned veteran of Hollywood, someone who had earned critical acclaim but, in Bronson's eyes, had become insufferably pretentious. Unlike actors number 7 and number 6, whose behavior clashed with him in real time on set, actor number 5 had cultivated a reputation for arrogance and entitlement over decades. Bronson, a man who valued discipline, humility, and professionalism above all else, found this attitude intolerable. The two first crossed paths on a high-profile Western in the early 1970s. Actor number 5 was already a household name, known for his dramatic flair and commanding presence. But behind the glitz, he carried an air of superiority that irked everyone around him, including Bronson. Colleagues recall that he often demanded special treatment on set, preferred accommodations, priority for lines, and constant praise from directors. To Bronson, these demands were petty and distracting, a stark contrast to the hard work and focus he brought to every scene. Their first confrontation occurred during a long day of shooting in scorching heat. Bronson, accustomed to long hours and physical endurance, noticed that actor number 5 was refusing to perform a particularly challenging scene. "It's beneath me," the veteran reportedly said. Bronson, never one for excuses, confronted him directly. "It's a job, not a performance of ego." This remark sparked tension that lasted the entire shoot. Crew members described the atmosphere as thick with unspoken animosity, each man barely tolerating the other. Bronson's frustration wasn't just professional. It was personal. He respected talent, skill, and dedication, but he could not abide those who flaunted their fame or acted above the work itself. Actor number 5's pretentiousness, in Bronson's eyes, undermined the collaborative spirit of filmmaking. It wasn't enough to be good. You had to respect the craft and everyone contributing to it. Even after filming wrapped, Bronson reportedly carried resentment. Interviews and anecdotes from friends reveal that he avoided any future collaborations with actor number 5, refusing offers to work together in later years, despite the potential box office draw. To Bronson, talent without humility was worthless, and he made it clear that this was a line he would not cross for anyone. The tension extended to public appearances and awards ceremonies. Actor number 5 often basked in the spotlight, while Bronson remained stoic and focused on the work rather than accolades. Their contrasting personalities made public interactions uncomfortable, and those who observed them noted the barely concealed disdain Bronson held. Actor number 5's place on this list highlights a crucial aspect of Bronson's character. His hatred was principled. It wasn't born from petty jealousy or rivalry, but from a strict moral code about professionalism and respect. Bronson demanded integrity, humility, and dedication. And when those qualities were absent, his contempt was inevitable. This encounter also reinforced Bronson's reputation among peers. Many knew him as a man who would silently judge, and few dared to cross him without consequences. Actor number 5's pretentiousness had earned him Bronson's enduring dislike, a sentiment that would be echoed in private interviews, memoirs, and behind-the-scenes stories for years to come. As the countdown continues, the next actors bring a mix of personal rivalry and professional tension, intensifying Bronson's anger and solidifying his reputation as one of Hollywood's most discerning and hardest-to-please actors. Actor number 5 reminds us that in Bronson's world, respect was earned through hard work, humility, and dedication, not fame or awards. Actor number 4 on Charles Bronson's list was a rising star whose ambition and audacity quickly put him in Bronson's crosshairs. Unlike the more established actors Bronson despised for arrogance or pretentiousness, this young performer was brimming with confidence, but lacked the humility and respect that Bronson demanded on set. To the legendary tough guy, this combination was a recipe for irritation, and ultimately, lasting contempt. The clash began during a major action film in the late 1960s. Actor number 4 was cast alongside Bronson in a scene that required precise timing and coordination. However, the younger actor consistently ignored stage directions, improvising lines and gestures that disrupted the flow of the scene. Bronson, known for his meticulous preparation and commitment to authenticity, found this behavior unacceptable. Colleagues recall Bronson quietly confronting the actor, his piercing gaze delivering a silent warning. But the young star either didn't notice or deliberately ignored it, further inflaming Bronson's irritation. What truly cemented Bronson's dislike was a public incident during a press event. Actor number 4, eager to promote himself, made dismissive remarks about Bronson's performance, suggesting that the older generation didn't understand modern acting techniques. Bronson, a man who rarely wasted words, was reportedly enraged. To him, the comments were not only disrespectful, but indicative of a lack of awareness about the craft and the struggles that had shaped his career. Behind the scenes, the tension escalated. Crew members recount whispered arguments, stern warnings, and moments of silent but palpable hostility. Bronson, ever disciplined, did not engage in petty theatrics, but his disdain was unmistakable. He avoided interacting with actor number 4 whenever possible and maintained a professional distance throughout the shoot. This episode highlights an important aspect of Bronson's character: his intolerance for disrespect from younger colleagues. He believed that experience, dedication, and professionalism were essential, and anyone who disregarded those principles risked earning his lasting animosity. It wasn't enough to be talented or popular. One had to show reverence for the craft, the team, and the work itself. Even after filming concluded, Bronson carried the resentment privately. Interviews and anecdotes suggest that he would bring up actor number 4 only to note the arrogance and lack of discipline he observed, often as a cautionary tale to others. He made it clear that admiration and respect were earned, and anyone who crossed those boundaries would remain in his disfavor. Actor number 4's position on the list also illustrates the generational aspect of Bronson's frustration. While he respected younger actors with talent and humility, he had little patience for those who used youth as an excuse for disrespect or egotism. In Bronson's view, true professionalism transcended age. It was about commitment, focus, and integrity. By the time Bronson's career reached its peak, he had learned to navigate Hollywood on his own terms. Yet the memory of actors like number 4 remained a cautionary tale, a reminder of the rare but enduring irritation that could arise when professionalism was ignored. As we move further up the list, the next actors bring even more intense clashes and personal conflicts, revealing the deeper layers of Bronson's uncompromising nature. Actor number 4 serves as a critical example of why Charles Bronson's reputation for being both demanding and discerning was legendary. He expected excellence, and anyone who failed to meet that standard would earn his contempt, no matter their fame or potential.